there, my name is John Klein. This video you're about to see is going to show you the step-by-step process describing how a hardcover book is produced. A longtime customer of HGI Company, now known as QuadGraphics, wanted a video created showing the step-by-step process on how a hardcover book is produced. The President of HGI Company recommended me to his client to produce it. I recorded the process beginning with the sheet of paper going through the press, going through every stage of bindery and fulfillment at the end where they jacketed the book and put it through the shrink wrap. Well, it looks like we're starting to run now on the press as the roll of paper starts to roll off the roll and into the sheeter where it cuts down the paper to the specific size needed for the job and gets fed into the press to lay down the black ink, the cyan ink, the magenta ink, and the yellow ink on one side, and then it'll flip the sheet over and lay down the black ink again, the cyan ink, the magenta ink, and the yellow ink on the other side before it brings it out at the end of the press where the press operator is with our client. Here we are on top of the press now. As you just saw, we passed the black ink. In front of us is the cyan ink, and we're approaching the magenta ink, and after that will be the yellow ink. Look how far down we are from where we started now. We're at the end of the press here, where we're gonna be coming and seeing where the paper comes out now. And our head pressman, Tyrone, will be putting a brand new skid in as he pulls out another skid full of product printed. Here's our head pressman Tyrone working with our client, making sure that the printed product coming out is meeting the client's expectations. Here's another shot of the press running with our head pressman Rick in charge of running it. Looks like we're on to binding operations for a book now. Here we are by the folder with our printed product laid up on top of the folder, folding our product, getting it ready for the perfect binder to bind it. Here is our folder helper as he takes off the printed product that has been folded and inspects them to make sure they are all looking good and are being folded correctly before he sets it on the skid and prepares it for the binder. Here we are at the laminator now. This machine laminates everything that we have for our jackets and book covers. Right now it is laminating the jacket for this book. Let's see how the operation works. See that big roll in the top left corner there? That's our roll of lamination coming off the roll, going through the machine and onto our jackets that get laminated for our books. Remember when we saw the printed material getting folded on the folder before? Well, here it all is, stacked up nice and neat, waiting by the binder to get set up to run it. Looks like the binder is in full operation now. Here is all of the SIGs for the EMC book being fed through the pockets of the binder and going through the binder, being glued, coming out on a belt, and it makes its way towards the 3-knife to get trimmed and comes out nice and square at the very end. See that little stack of paper there? That is our end sheets right there for our book. Here they come off the belt. You see that little marker there? Are you wondering, what's a marker being marked on the book for? The reason being is that tells the next machine that puts the case on the book which way to put the book so the book goes in the correct way. This is the 3 knife. Now, this is what makes the book nice and square. This is the end of the 3 knife now, where the books come out nice and square, and they come up this belt, where they get counted into a nice stack and come out for a person to inspect them and make sure they're all looking good, and stack them nice and neatly onto a pallet for the case inline. Now at the case maker. This machine is what makes the hardcover books for all the books we manufacture. It starts off by putting a piece of board on the end table right here, and it takes one board at a time, and then it cuts the size of the spine, and it'll go on and get the cover put on, and they'll fold the flaps over on the cover and come out the end. These are the covers now that are getting put on the hardcover for our book. Here's where our cases come out now, all complete, and where they get counted by either the operator in charge of running the machine, or sometimes they might have a helper who counts them out and inspects them and then piles them onto a skid for the case in line. Well, here are all the cases from the case maker and the book blocks from the binder, waiting by the case in line to start casing in the book. Well, we're at the case in line now, where they're starting production of putting the book block onto the case to make the hardcover book. Here you see they are infeeding the book block into the machine that will go down the belt and get glued, put on the spine and the end sheets, and then have a case get put on it, and it will go down a little more on the belt, where it will then form the shape of the spine and come out on the end. Here are all our books that were ran on the case-in line, sitting in fulfillment, waiting to get jacketed and shrink wrapped. We are now back out at the folders, where they are now folding the jacket for our books sitting down in fulfillment. now back in fulfillment, where they are now applying the jacket we just saw being folded on the folder to our hardcover book. And after they get a good amount jacketed and stacked up, they will start shrink wrapping them on the shrink wrap. Starting to shrink wrap them now on the shrink wrap. Here they're putting one book at a time on the belt as it gets fed into the shrink wrap, and it goes into a plastic bag and carries on a little bit, and a very hot knife will come down and cut the bag as the book with the inside the bag will carry on into the hot conveyor belt, where it wraps the plastic around the book and comes out on the end. Here they are coming out at the end of the shrink wrap now, where they are coming out onto a moving conveyor belt, where they will move down the belt a little bit, where somebody else will inspect the shrink wrap in around the book and then downpile them onto a skid.
That was enough.
Here is the completed skid of our shrink wrap books. Most cases after the books get shrink wrapped when they come out, they either get individually cartoned or they get boxed up in boxes. During the time of this production, the cartons or boxes had not come in yet, so we were not able to see that process. Video production of innovation, passion, success, the EMC story, was taken at Inland Graphics, a division of HGI Company, located in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin.